Welcome to this week's video, where I discuss what I believe is important for individual investors to consider before they make their investment decisions over the next few weeks. I think investors should begin to pay attention to the Fed, not so much as to how much they're going to raise interest rates, but when do we see a pause in rising rates? I think we need to understand what corporations are going through. What are corporations saying? Are they beginning to take down their outlooks for the next 2 or 3 quarters? And lastly, even though there are many bargains out there in the stock market, individual investors need to do their homework to figure out which are real bargains and which are investments that have gone down for good reason. If you can't do your homework, you should seek the advice of an individual investment advisor. Stay tuned. This Wednesday, the Federal Reserve will release their minutes from their last meeting. I expect those minutes to show that the Federal Reserve will continue to raise interest rates and continue to raise interest rates aggressively, perhaps 50 basis points at the next 2 meetings. However, I think we need to start to look towards what happens after that. Will the Federal Reserve pause? We've heard from some Fed officials recently saying that a pause in interest rate hikes may be appropriate. I think if the stock market gets a whiff that this could happen, we could see a rally in the second half. And that's been my baseline thesis to my investors, that I believe the Fed will slow down the interest rate increases as we start to see the overall economy start to slow down. So going forward, listen to what the Fed officials are saying. And if they start to indicate a pause or a slowdown in rising rates, I think that could be the green light that many are waiting for to start to put more and more money to work in this investment environment. Many analysts and the investment community at large are waiting to hear that individual corporations are starting to take down their earnings estimates for the coming quarters. Up until today, we have not seen corporations start to say that what they see going forward is going to be a lot worse than what they've experienced already. I think many are starting to believe that they will take down earnings expectations, and the market is struggling to find what multiple it should be trading at. Should the market look at things in a positive light, I think earnings multiples could not be that bad. However, overall, I think there are many corporations still doing very well. Those that dominate in their space, those with pricing power, those that are showing good top line and bottom line growth, even in a very difficult environment. These are the companies that you want to take a look at. However, going forward, I think investors need to hear from some of these struggling companies. Why are they struggling? And can you extrapolate from these struggling companies to some of the better performing companies? Will these struggling companies be the leading edge or the beginning of a pullback for the overall corporate earnings segment? Will the whole environment, earnings environment, and economy in general start to fall? I think many are waiting for this, and as we wait, we continue to struggle to see how bad things could get. So overall, if you're an investor today looking to put money to work, I think you need to keep one eye on the stock market and one eye on individual corporations, leaders in their sector, to see how they're doing, and more importantly, what they believe or how they believe they will fare going forward. Every few weeks, I come on air through these videos and discuss with all of you what bargains there are in the stock market today and how buying investments on the cheap is always the best recipe for success. However, what I don't do often is discuss the homework, the research that goes into finding these companies. There are many companies trading 30, 40, and even many of them trading more than 50% off their all-time highs. Yet, how do we know which companies to buy? How do we know which companies are trading at bargain prices? And how do we know which companies deserve to see their stock price slashed in half? This is where the homework comes in. And if, as an individual investor, you're unable to do this homework, to get the information, to make an informative decision, you need to speak to an investment advisor, someone who does this full-time for a living, someone that could guide you through the potential pitfalls that exist today. There are many stocks that are trading on sale today, but I will put out there that not all of them are good bargains to buy. Many of them, in fact, are not good bargains and deserve to be trading at lower prices. So going forward, once again, individual investors need to figure out which stocks to own, which stocks are truly on sale and will return to their former pricing, and which stocks will probably remain where they are today for many, many months to come. And if you can figure that out, that is truly the recipe for success.